Hi, Sagittarius. Welcome to your love reading for March 1st through the 15th. For those of you who are just now tuning in, um, I'm going to be doing a singles reading that really focuses a lot on the internal you. It really touches on where you're at in life right now. And one of the biggest parts of having a successful relationship is the state that you're in to welcome it. And I really believe in the law of attraction. You get back what you put out. So it's really important to be in a good state when looking for a healthy, loving relationship. After my singles reading, I move into a reading for my couples. And that reading is pretty much the same as how I've always done it, except at the end, I touch on the physical aspect of your relationship. For those of you who are just tuning in, these are generalized readings, so that means not everything in the reading may pertain to you because it's not specifically focused towards you. So with that said, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to email me at montreflotarot@gmail.com. I'm also available to do private readings, and for more information, please email me. Have I ever told you guys that I'm a Sagittarius too? We have some possibilities here, Sagittarius. Let's move. Let's have rose quartz with us today. Okay, so the first card in the spread represents what you want. This is the Magician, and this has to do with an acknowledgement of change that you've been making within yourself. The Magician has to do with outer work, okay? This has to do, and I know I touched on the law of attraction when I started this video, but this also really, I feel, touches on that. And this has to do with acknowledging all the elements around us and using those elements to achieve what we want, to obtain a higher purpose, and using those elements to get to the state where you want to be. This is a stepping stone towards that state, an acknowledgement of the elements around us, an acknowledgement of moving forward in that space, okay? But you're still trying to figure out how to work with those elements. So this is an acknowledgement of you knowing the type of relationship that you want, but and working towards it. However, you're still not quite sure exactly how to get there or if you're on the right path to obtain that relationship, okay? The next card is the Wheel of Fortune, and this is what you know. This has to do with accepting the good and the bad, that you can't have one without the other, and that like the Wheel of Fortune, it can either be bad or good, and you just have to take things as they come. However, this is a 10, so this has to do with a change, a situation changing and moving, in that forward momentum, a heightened state. The next card is the Knight of Pentacles, and this is what you feel. Again, I want to touch on the Magician and how I think that this is a change that you're working through with yourself, and you're trying to stay in control, to navigate your way through this process. Okay, and I feel like you think that you're making progress, but again, we have this collective feeling inside that we're working with. This is what the reality is, and this is the Four of Wands. This could be an acknowledgement of you wanting to move forward in that space, a celebratory space where, you know, you're wanting to move forward in that next phase of your life with a serious relationship. This also can mean that around you, there's a lot of people celebrating their relationships with each other, moving forward with that next step. And I think that you should take that opportunity to meet new people. The next card is the Hanged Man, and this is your weakness in the matter. I think literally you get hung up on yourself, and sometimes when you make a mistake, it's like you take five steps back. This has to do with acknowledgement, introspection, reflection, acknowledgement, and the ability to change within yourself, okay? The next card is the Five of Wands, and this is the heart of the matter. I think that things, especially since we're a fire sign, you know, and wands relate to fire, I don't think things have been really easy for you. I think that you feel you've had to fight to get to where you're at in life, and I think that, or in relationships, there's been a lot of turbulence, and that has made you rather defensive, and it kind of keeps your walls up in regards to new relationships as well. The next card indicates your strength. This is the Four of Pentacles. This indicates protection, you keeping something safe. This indicates that when you're with somebody, this is a relationship. You really, really put value into your relationships, and that you're 100% present in those. However, I just want to make you aware that sometimes when people identify with the Four of Pentacles, it could sometimes, when we're in that protective space, it can come across as we're being smothering. The next two cards are the Ten of Swords and the Empress. The Ten of Swords, these are advice cards. The Ten of Swords has to do with our sorrows. And I know that there is an acknowledgement of when we make a mistake that sometimes we take, 5 steps back. Because I think that, especially being a Sagittarius, we're so emotional that we could be so hard on ourselves. And this is to remind you to stay out of that dark place that's so easy for us to dwell in. We're so sensitive that we feel everything very deeply. The Empress. The Empress creates, turns spirit into matter, okay? And that's the energy that I really want you to channel. She is a good creator, okay? So I want this to be a reminder that throughout this process of being single, that we create our reality. Again, work with the law of attraction, where we put out what we get back, okay? I want you to work with the elements to create, okay? We have control of our destiny by our actions and our reactions, okay? So I really want you guys to remember that throughout this process. And the outcome is the Ace of Cups. This is a reminder that love is everywhere, and love is also around you. There's lots of opportunities around you, which is very promising, especially in regards to love, to have the Ace of Cups as the outcome. This is a really wonderful card, very inspiring, and I really feel like there's a very good chance for love to enter into your life within the next few weeks. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to email me at mantraflowtarot@gmail.com. And I am going to be working with my Wild Unknown deck for my couples, which is one of my favorite decks. I feel like it's a very feminine deck too, so sorry for all those gentlemen out there. Okay, so the first card in the spread represents what you're bringing into this relationship. The Son of Wands is someone who is very charismatic, someone who is also very charming. However, there's a lot of different layers to the Son of Wands, and sometimes it seems when you're dealing with the Son of Wands that the Son of Wands could sometimes almost be too good to be true. So that's a reminder to be authentic with yourself, that maybe you aren't showing all your different layers, and maybe that has something to do with a fear of vulnerability, which I can totally relate to, because even I could sit here and I could read cards for you guys, but in my relationship, sometimes it's really hard for me to share intimate details about myself because of past experiences that I've been in, and ultimately I'm afraid of being hurt, even though I am absolutely in love with the person I'm with. The next card is the Ten of Wands, and this represents where you are now in relation to the other person. Sometimes with the Ten of Wands, it could indicate caring more than you can handle, or wanting to carry the burdens or the weight of this relationship, so to speak. So this would be a friendly reminder that relationships are supposed to be a balance, and don't take on more than you could chew. Again, express yourself to your partner, and encourage your partner to express him or herself to you as well. That way you can really initiate that exchange with each other, so you can have an open dialogue. And your partner's supposed to be somebody who can help you through problems, and vice versa, of course. The next card is the Son of Pentacles, and this is what you're hoping to get from the relationship. The Son of Pentacles, this could indicate that maybe this is a newer relationship, so to speak, or that you're taking a different approach to this relationship if this is somebody who you've been with for a really long time. But the Son of Pentacles also really touches on this person inspires you to be creative. This can indicate a close tie with nature, which, by the way, really represents the person that I'm with. And also, This indicates family ties. Maybe this is somebody who you hope to grow and have a family with, or if you're already in a relationship and have a family with this individual, again, taking a new approach to this relationship, bringing the youth back into it. The next card is the Ace of Wands, and this indicates what the other person is bringing into this relationship with you. Now, the Ace of Wands has to do with that deep fire and creativity and inspiration that's within us, and this lets me know that you inspire your partner, you give light to your partner, and your partner really feeds off you as well. I think that again, you two really inspire one another. The next card is the Six of Cups. And this is what they are getting out of it. I think that this represents a very deep connection that you have with your partner. This also could indicate an old love that you guys have. And also, there's some deep family roots here within the Six of Cups as well that you guys both share. And he or she is looking to build with you. The next card is the Star, and this is what they're hoping to experience with you. The Star has to do with that divine connection, and ultimately, really a divine connection and continuing to build your relationship. I think that this is a really serious commitment that you guys have, a really intense connection that you guys have with one another, and he or she is wanting to continue to build that and expand on that. The next card is the Eight of Pentacles, and this represents how you see your partner. And this really touches on, the Star and wanting to really build this deep connection with each other. This has to do with continuing to build your relationship and wanting that forward momentum, okay? Really continuing to work on that. The next card indicates how your partner sees you, and this is the Two of Swords, and this can indicate, as we indicated in the beginning with the Son of Wands, that there are lots of different layers to you that you haven't exposed yet, and that at times you can seem rather closed off, standoffish, in a protective state, okay? The next card is the Father of Swords, and this is the outcome. This has to do with intuition and honesty. One of the things about the Father of Swords is he has a very caring, loving side about him, also a very honorable side. And I think that that really captures both of the personalities of both of these individuals. But what really strikes me with the Father of Swords is the honesty, exposing those vulnerabilities. So to me, this is an encouragement of things getting deeper, okay? But we have to cut through those layers that we're keeping closed off with the Two of Swords and the Son of Wands. So with that said, I'm going to take a closer look at the physical aspect of your guys' relationship. The Ace of Cups, the Ace of Wands, and the Two of Pentacles. Okay. So I want to start with the Ace of Cups, which has to do with that really intense emotional connection that you guys have while love making. You guys don't fuck, so to speak. You guys make love, a very intense love making, very physical. There's an abundance of emotion. The Ace of Wands has to do with igniting that fire within each other. Really exposing your guys' vulnerability, and yeah, just really igniting that fire within each other. The Two of Pentacles, especially when you guys have been together for a long time, this has to do with balancing, your earthly matters with your physical. I think it's really easy to get lost in the day-to-day stuff and lose sight sometimes of this passion, not putting it, it's easy to put it in the background and focus on other things, okay? So with that said, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to email me at mantraflowtarot@gmail.com. Bye.